Football Champ is about a boy named Troy White. Troy has a unique ability. He knows so much about football that he can predict what plays the opposing team is going to run. He works for the Atlanta Falcons and he tells the coaches what plays the other team is going to run, and they put in a play to stop the other team. Well, Troy's helping the Atlanta Falcons go on to win the Super Bowl. But he's also on a football team of his own, coached by the star linebacker of the Atlanta Falcons. Suddenly, Troy is put under intense media pressure. Can he help the Falcons win the Super Bowl and win his own Youth League championship as well? Find out in Football Champ.
Alabama Moon is a great new book at your fall book fair. It's such a wonderful book. It's being made into a major motion picture releasing this fall, and I know you'll want to read it before you go see the movies. Moon is 10 years old, and he's lived most of his life in a camouflage shelter with his dad in a forest on land that they don't own. His dad dies unexpectedly, and Moon tries to get to Alaska. Do you think he's going to be able to do it? Well, you want to definitely read this book and find out and follow all of the great adventures of Moon in Alabama Moon.
A book that will especially appeal to many of you fifth graders is called The Best Bad Luck I Ever Had. In this book, 12-year-old Dit, who's one of 10 children, lives in Alabama in 1917. The house next door to him is empty, and he's very excited when he finds out that a new family is going to move in. Imagine his surprise when that family happens to be an African-American family moving from Boston so that the father can be the new postmaster. They only have one child, a girl who's 12 named Emma. Lots of Dit's friends think he's kind of crazy to be interested in being friends with a black girl. But he finds out that Emma knows a lot about books that she shares with him, and she wants to learn about baseball from him. That summer, one of Dit's friends' father is accused of murdering the sheriff. The sheriff is not a very good guy, but Dit's friend's dad, Doc Haley, didn't do it. Unfortunately, he's about to be found guilty and hanged. Dit and Emma find a way to perhaps save him from this terrible fate. These kids are pretty smart, and they find out that being friends with someone that you thought you had nothing in common with can sometimes turn out to be the best bad luck you ever had. Boys and girls, I really enjoy books that let me learn lots of unusual facts that I can share with friends. If you like that kind of book, you need to check out Weird But True, 300 Outrageous Facts. I learned some incredible things. Did you know that a mouse's heart is only about as big as a breath mint? Or that kangaroos lick their forearms in order to cool off? Lots of interesting facts are available to you. Check out Weird But True. It's at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair.
Hi students, have you seen the movie How to Train Your Dragon? Well, at your Cardinal Lane Book Fairs, we have the books How to Train Your Dragon 1 and How to Train Your Dragon 2, How to Be a Pirate. In How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup, Horrendous Haddock III, is son of the Viking chieftain. Well, the only problem is Hiccup isn't a very good Viking. He doesn't like to do all the normal Viking things. Well, Hiccup and all his warriors and training friends go to pick their own dragons. Hiccup finds Toothless, a very small dragon, and all of his friends make fun of him. But Hiccup and Toothless go on many different adventures. The last one being the whole tribe has to fight a big, giant, mountain-sized dragon. In How to Be a Pirate, Hiccup has to sail on a Viking ship, which he's not very good at because he's seasick, and learn how to sword fight, and learn the art of rudery, which is learning how to insult your enemies. Well, Hiccup and Toothless have to find the treasure. Can they find the real treasure, or is the treasure they find the most important treasure of all?
Boys and girls, there's a great new series that you need to check out at the book fair. It's called the I Survived series. The first book, I Survived the Sinking of the Titanic tells the story of 10-year-old George who's traveling on the Titanic with his sister and aunt. This happens back in April of 1912. George has loved exploring all over the Titanic, and when the night comes that the boat hits the iceberg, he actually is down in the bottom of the ship trying to keep a thief from stealing valuable cargo on the Titanic. This is part of the story I bet you haven't heard. In the other book, I Survived the Shark Attacks of 1916, a boy named Chet lives along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. It's 1916, and great white sharks are appearing in the ocean, and people are being attacked. Chet goes out into the ocean one day and begins to see dark shadows around him. Is he going to be another victim of the shark attacks, or will he live to tell this incredible story? If you love great drama, check out the I Survived series at your Cardinal Lane book fair.
Matt Christopher's World Cup is about the fun game of soccer, which is played and loved all around the world. The World Cup started in 1930, and this book tells you some of the stories about some of the great heroes and soccer stars of the World Cup. People such as Pele, Diego Maradona, Joe Gaetjens, and Zinedine Zidane. Learn more about the players and about the game in Matt Christopher's World Cup.
Scat is a thrilling mystery by Carl Hyacin, and it will be at your book fair. In Scat, Mrs. Starch is the meanest, most feared biology teacher at the Truman School when she goes missing on a field trip to the Black Vine Swamp. Two of her students, Marta and Nick, suspect Dwayne Scott, a pimply kid who had a fight with Miss Starch. Will Marta and Nick be able to locate Mrs. Starch? Will they be able to solve the mystery of who did the arson in the Black Vine Swamp? Well, if you loved Hoot and you loved Flush, you are bound to enjoy Scat.
In Captain Nobody by Dean Pitchford, Newt Newman is a 10-year-old boy whose older brother Chris is the star quarterback of the high school football team. When he wins the game for them, Chris unfortunately gets knocked out and is put into the hospital in pretty serious condition. It's almost Halloween, and Newt's parents are staying at the hospital round the clock with brother Chris. Two of Newt's friends decide to help him put together something for a Halloween outfit so that he can go out trick-or-treating. He finds some old items of his brother's, and they make him into a sort of superhero who happens to have CN on his shirt. Those were his big brother's initials, remember, Chris Newman. Well, Newt has to decide what that CN stands for and comes up with Captain Nobody. He becomes such an incredible superhero that he's solving problems all over town. He's wearing that outfit even to school, and everyone knows that Captain Nobody is an incredible new hero. Only problem is, can Newt actually solve the biggest problem of all, that big brother Chris who's still in the hospital? This is a great book with lots of adventure and a new superhero that you're bound to love.
Well, students, I know you found and heard some wonderful books that you are very interested in at your book fair. So tell your parents, tell your grandparents, friends, and neighbors, and we'll see you at the Cardinal.